I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. Oh, I always feel like somebody's watching me. And I have no privacy. Okay. Don't ask me why that just came. That video or that song came to me, but that was funny because I was in the previous recording. I don't know if it was the light shifting or what, but I seen like it just felt like somebody had like video remote controlled my computer or something. I don't know. Anyway, um, it just made me feel uneasy. So I was like, hey, no, let me turn it off. And then when I turned it off, I this song popped in my head, and I was like, oh, I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I'm like, oh, okay, instant download, boom, okay. So message, here we go. Um, I'm gonna ring the bell with you. Ring the alarm. I've been doing it too long, and I be damned if I think about the chicken. Where's my name? Where, oh, has my little bell? Oh, where can it be? Okay, I'm gonna wear my bellies. That's weird. It's sitting right here. Oh, it's right in my face. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. But let's ring the bell and clean and cleanse the energy. So let's ring the bell for a kiss. Okay, so I always feel like somebody's watching me, right? And so this message is the download rather that I received for that song. First and foremost was that song, and then what came after that was I always feeling like somebody is watching you. So gang stalking, not just gang stalking, I'm seeing that in a lot of videos, but literally like stalking a person. Somebody is being stalked. Maybe even is myself being stalked. I don't know. But I just feel the energy of stalking or stalkerish energy, like somebody's watching me, not just in the physical, but in the spiritual realm. And so that brings me to this message because what I am learning about the whole quote unquote being watched, you are always being watched. Even when you think you aren't, you are always being watched. Always. At all times. Whether you believe it or not, you're always being watched. And you're being watched in more than one way, okay? You're being watched physically. Somebody around you might be looking at you. You might even know that they're looking at you or see you, whatever, like just in happenstance. You walking down the street and they happen to walk across the other side. Somebody sitting at the window just looking out the window and they see you walking down the street. You're always being watched, right? That's the physical. And the spiritual, you're always being watched. We are realms upon realms of dimensions within dimensions of within dimensions within dimensions. And that means in different dimensions, we are existing simultaneously at the same time, right? And so that doesn't mean that how can I explain? Uh, so although we are existing simultaneously at the same time, it does not necessarily mean that I am physically there in that dimension. However, I am spiritually connected to it, if that makes sense. Or we are spiritually connected to other realms or dimensions, whether we are cognizant and aware of it or not. And when I say cognizant, meaning in the know, meaning like we know it for sure that we're doing it, or if we don't know at all, right? And so, what I wanted to relay is that when you are being watched, it is not for a bad thing or like, you're just being watched, period, in general. First and foremost, let's just put it there. You're being watched in general because you're being watched by yourself, your Ori, your higher self. You're being watched by the Most High, the creator of all universe, space, time, continuum, creator of just whatever, everything, right? Your source creation or source creation energy, right? You are being observed by the different realms because there are realms that exist beyond us. You are being observed by your ancestors, those who have your family line that have come before you, whose family line or generational track you have chosen to follow. You are being watched by angels. You know what I'm saying? You're being watched by a lot of people and aliens. Shit, we are being observed and watched by aliens and higher vibrational frequency or a higher intellectually, beings. You're always being watched. And when you begin to know that and not feel afraid or scared or uncomfortable to just be you and just accept that you're going to be seen, and begin to like see yourself and accept yourself for who you are and just be in your own energy, especially if you're being positive or you're just pouring into yourself, you're going to vibrate so much higher and you're going to be so much brighter, right? And in essence, you are attracting energy. In my previous video, I said that you glow, we glow. And I was jumping all over the place in that video, I'm sorry. But I say human beings have a glow, right? So in the spiritual realm, your glow is your energy, your life force energy, your etheric body, right? And the stronger you are in that energy, the brighter your auric field will glow, or your etheric field, your energetic field, the brighter it will be, the stronger and more pronounced and profound it will be. However, it doesn't just happen to you, right? You have to endure, meaning you have to go through the tests and trials of life and come out on the other side, like not give up, you know what I mean? And take accountability. Hold your, why am I picking them? That's, I'm sorry. I get, sometimes I fidget to help me process the information. So I'm sorry because I'm picking and I'm not normally, well, well, yeah, I'm kind of a picker, whatever. But I do that to help me to be able to focus to say what needs to be said because I be stemming. That's what it is. I learned that today, that when you fidget, you are stemming, meaning you're, I don't know how to describe it. Go look at that shit. But I digress because I swear to beings, I would just be going off on tangents. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Because I really want these videos to be like straight and to the point and just drop knowledge and keep it moving. But baby, I swear sometimes my personality be popping out a little bit too much for me. And it just be like, what? You supposed I laugh at myself. I don't care. My joke's funny to me too, so whatever. Anyway, I digress. um you're always being watched though, right? And so when you go through the tests and trials of life and you come out on the other side and you're able to be accountable for yourself and make the necessary changes, excuse me, make the necessary changes or adjustments that need to be made for yourself or within your life, or whatever the case may be, when you really start living for yourself, when you really start looking at yourself and seeing yourself for who you are through your own eyes, other people's eyes won't bother you anymore because you'll know who you are and you'll see yourself, right? You'll identify yourself, because I said in one of my videos, like, I am God and God is me and we are one and the same. And in essence, that means I'm allowing God to use me as a vessel to look through my eyes, to see his greatness, to see the beauty of the things that he created around me. And when I say he, not in the sense of like saying that he's a man or God is masculine or whatever, it's just he as a terminology, because God is omnipresent, omnipotent. He's in all things and in everything, and it's just a way of referring to the essence or energy or life force source of the creator of all things. So in essence, it's a lack of a better term, because it's just a reference rather. And so, if I am God and God is me and we are one and the same, and we are looking at his creation through his eyes, we're going to see what he sees, right? Or what source sees, right? And sometimes our journeys or our missions or our goals when we come here is we have to fight through things to see ourselves, right? trauma. You experience trauma, things like that. You get a distorted view of yourself, especially when you're growing up, because you have people speaking over you and saying, "Oh, that child is this, or that child is spoiled, or that child is, angry, or that child is disrespectful," and all the while they're just being misunderstood for just being who they are. You know what I'm saying? They're just showing up as them. They're showing up as how God intended them to show up at that point in time. That whatever they is going through at the time they're going through it. And so, um, with that being said, right, when you begin to do the work and like when you begin to clear your lenses, let's put it like that, clear your lenses or clean your ears, right? Your spiritual ears, your spiritual lenses, your discernment. When you begin to reflect on yourself and or just, recognize things that don't make you feel good about you or just don't make you feel like you or feel like you're at home in your own body. Those are the things or the things that feel like go against the grain of who you are, right? Or who you proclaim yourself to be or how you show up. Those things are happening to see how you're going to, because I feel like I'm getting lost in this metaphor. Forgive me, I'm sorry. I rebuke the spirit of. I'm sorry, I'm really, really tired too. That is another thing. So I'm like zoning in and out of this energy and this message, and I really just want to get it all out. I don't want this to be a super long, drawn out video, so please bear with me. I do apologize. I'm fighting sleep right now. I'm fighting sleep right now. So I know that I may be a little bit loopy. With relaying this information, so I do apologize. However, um, I really lost my train of thought. Oh, I'm so sorry. Uh, backtrack. I'm having a moment. I do apologize. I definitely had like a massive brain fart in the midst of relaying this message, and it was definitely for a reason. Excuse me. And so I'm sorry. I had to pause for a second to get myself together and regroup because I had lost my train of thought. So I do not know what was the last thing I actually said. However, I'm going to continue because I'm going to continue. Um, and so with that being said, God, when you allow yourself to be a vessel and be used by God and allow God to look through your lenses, or you allow yourself to look through the lens, or allow your eyes to be used through as a vessel through God. So like basically your guard source energy is looking at another guard source's energy or looking with spiritual eyes. That I'll put it like that. That's the best way to say it. Thank you. Thank you. Looking with spiritual eyes. When you're looking with spiritual eyes and you're looking through spiritual eyes and you are assessing yourself and seeing yourself for who you are and who God created you to be and understanding and knowing your vibration frequency and your light and the essence that you were created to be, when you begin to stand in that and be authentically, truly, honestly you and raise your vibration frequency and not care what other people think about you, you don't care, or you tend to not care anymore if people see you. And so I know for me, sometimes I used to struggle when I was younger. Like, I wanted to be seen, I wanted to be acknowledged, I wanted to be heard, I wanted to be, recognized as being there. Like, I'm here. Hey, hi, hello. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be ignored, right? When I was growing up, and as I got older, I'm like, I don't give a fuck if you talk to me. I can care less if you talk to me or don't talk to me, and that's because I have learned to value my energy, right? I'm very protective of my energy and what energy I choose to emit or take in. And I understand those things as my portals, because what I choose to listen to is what I'll, meditate on. What I choose to talk about is what I choose to meditate on. What I choose to put in or watch or stare or take into my vessels of my eyes is, It's what you're doing. And so it's like when you are intentional about the things that you take into your body, and I know I said in a previous video like your body is a temple, when you are intentional about your body and you're intentional about the things or how you take care of your body, and you begin to be authentically, truly, honestly you don't care how people see you. And when you don't care how they see you, you've elevated, because people are going to see you through their lenses, and those are their eyes. They can look at you how they want to look at you. Who are you to tell them that they can't see you? How the fuck they want to see you? You not them. You don't know what's going on with them and what they transpiring through, right? And so what I'm learning these things as well, because everything I say to you all is things that I've been learning and or applying to myself, or I've had that 15 I've been applying to myself, or that I've learned over the course of years of growing, evolving, and changing is how you look at people is truly in essence how you view yourself, right? And when you stop caring about how you view yourself and you love yourself, I mean, even the things about yourself that irritate you or get on your nerves, the bad habits, when you start to love yourself and accept yourself, you don't give a flying Batman about what anybody else has to say or what they think of you. They're going to talk about you. People are going to look at you. Sometimes you are the lighthouse that they have to look to, or you are the lesson that they have to look to or understand, or they just got to spectate. You know what I'm saying? That's what they was put here to do, right? You can't control another person's journey, right? And when you start showing up authentically as yourself and stop worrying and caring so much about somebody watching you or what they're thinking about you, then you begin to actually live. That's living, because you're just doing you. You in your own world, you in your own mind, you in your own space. It's not saying that you're disregarding those around you or disrespecting people around you or not having common courtesy or, openness to be able to, have empathy and see things from other people's eyes or perspectives, rather. Mhm. You know, it's a matter of you respecting your own space. It's a matter of you, loving on yourself and acknowledging yourself for who you are and just holding space for yourself and saying, hey, I don't want to be a part of that. Hey, I don't want to be in that. I like my energy today. I like to stay in this vibration. I like to stay in this energy today. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a good mood. You're not about to mess up my mood. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many different ways that you go through that process of accepting yourself and accepting who you are and how you want to be and how you want to show up and being intentional, right? Exercising the gratitude, right? And so I say all this to say that somebody always gonna be watching you. So if they're always gonna be watching you, show up for you, not them. Fuck them. Who cares? They gonna, people gonna talk. They talked about Jesus. They spectated on Jesus. They talk about celebrities. They spectate on celebrities. Your friends, family members, cousins, whoever, they talk about you too, whether they admit it or not. People are going to talk, people are going to look, people are going to observe, people are going to stare, people are going to be curious, people are going to have, opinions, ideas, whatever. It is not your responsibility or your business to be concerned with what they're doing unless it interferes with your purpose. So that is my message. And like I said, that one was a short one and it was a quick one. And I said I wanted to be to the point because I am tired. I don't know if I'm going to make another one tonight. We'll see how it go. But I just wanted to, let that be known. You know what I'm saying? Stop caring what people think. Stop looking outside yourself for questions and for answers or absolution or recognition. Recognize yourself. What the right? Like what? Recognize you, see you. Like give yourself kudos. Pat yourself on the back. Shit, you got out today. You got out the fucking bed. Many of us, because some people didn't break the fuck up. You feel what I'm saying? Lord forgive me. I know I'm going out. I know I'm tired because I'm cussing now. Um, but some people didn't wake up. You know what I mean? Some people didn't get another chance. Some people died today. Realistically, real talk. It's so many things that you have to be more cognizant, alert, and aware of. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to my coworker today. We were talking about the news. I was like, I don't watch the news. I don't. And like my mom and my grandma used to be like, you gotta watch the news at least know what's going on around the world or what's at least going on in your local excuse me, neighborhood. You know, at least watch local news so you can be, educated as to what is going on around you. Or at least watch the weather so you know how to dress or how to, cover yourself or whatever. And baby, when I say I don't watch the news, I do not watch the news. I don't even watch for the weather forecast. Like I didn't even know that it was supposed to snow. Like that's how I just be so nonchalant. I don't be caring. I concern myself with things that I want to concern myself with. You know what I mean? And that is kind of how we all should be. Stay in your own lane. Don't worry about what somebody else thinks of you or what somebody else said about you. That's their truth, whether it's your truth or not. You don't have to agree to it. Therefore, you don't have to pick up the baggage. Leave it where it's at. And with that being said, I'm gonna let that go because, like what they say, eat the bones and eat the fish and spit out the bones or something like that. Whatever. I always say that thing. I always say that wrong. I tear that thing up. But that's my message for today. This evening, I don't know for right now. Anyway, I share me. I'm gonna say. With that being said, to thine own self be true. Peace.